Well, hello. I bet you're wondering why I have this big bowl here. Well, today's episode of Pathways to Physical and Emotional Wellness is about meditation. Ooh, that's really nice. So, if you haven't tried meditation before or you're thinking about it, today's a good little intro course. What we'll be talking today about is just some of the benefits. We'll be going over 10 benefits that meditation offers for your physical and emotional wellness. And I think it'll be a good primer for, if it's something that's right for you. We'll also share some resources for you to check it out. As a reminder, this whole series is sponsored by Pfizer, HFA, and CVS. Now, before we get started, before we get to the meditation again, maybe we should just have a quick word from our sponsor, Pfizer. Here we go. Welcome back. So we'll go ahead and get started. I want to talk to you a little bit about what I see are the 10 scientific reasons that meditation is proven to help your wellness. So let's get into it. I've got some slides that I'll share with you, and we will get started. Science of Serenity, exploring the top 10 benefits of meditation. So just to give you a little bit of background, meditation, as a definition, is just like this practice of breathing. It's thousands of years old, involves the training of the mind. It's a little bit of focus. There's lots of different ways that people use it. It doesn't have to be scary, but it is something that could offer you some benefits. Let's chat through them. Number one, stress reduction. It is found that meditation can reduce stress. In fact, in a 2015 study, it reduced cortisol levels. That's the stress hormone in the blood, so it's measurable. It reduced cortisol levels by 22%. So that's a huge reduction and definitely statistically valid. So it's something that it may not be true for everyone, but the studies that exist show that it can reduce stress. Something to consider. Number two, it improves sleep. In a 2014 study, it showed a 28% reduction in insomnia severity. When you think about your health and wellness, the idea of how much sleep you get has a big impact on it. And when you think about like the days that you start off without enough sleep, or the days that you go through and that sense of tiredness and how it affects you. So meditation is one of the ways that you can help yourself through that. Again, 28% reduction in insomnia severity for folks that practiced on a regular basis. Increased focus. Now, this one is super interesting. This is related to concentration and work, that sort of thing. So meditation, there was a 2010 study that showed that attention actually was able to be increased by 23%. And in fact, working memory in that same study increased by 11%. So the combination of having a little bit better ability to pay attention and also having your memory be slightly more effective. In this study, it was 11% increase in working memory. Next up is reducing anxiety. We've all been in those moments where it just feels like, like stress, anxiety builds up. And I can tell you from a personal basis, anxiety is the reason I went to meditation in the first place. I felt a bit of helplessness about how bad my anxiety would get. And at times it still gets that way. But whenever I first started using meditation, it was tied to relieving some anxiety. And the studies, show it pretty significantly. A 2313 meta-analysis of, it was like over 39 different studies, showed a decrease in anxiety by 26% was the net effect on all of these studies. So if you are someone who's prone to anxiety, there's lots of ways of going about it. There's obviously medicines, there's doctors that you can go to, but one way also to consider is meditation as an option for helping you reduce anxiety. Another benefit to consider is improved emotional well-being. The studies are pretty clear on this too. 2016 study showed that the people who were using meditation on a regular basis versus a control group increased their positive emotions by 15%. So in the analysis, they were able to increase positive emotions by 15% and actually reduce negative emotions by 16%. So that really plays into that sense of well-being and how you can kind of regulate your thoughts and emotions slightly differently with a practice similar to meditation. It also has benefits that they've seen in blood pressure. So when you think about like, okay, yes, maybe my mind's handling these things a little bit better, but how is it affecting the rest of my body? It was actually in 2017, I believe the American Heart Association came out with a statement that said that meditation did lower blood pressure. There was a variety of different types that they talked about, but transcendental meditation was one of the ones that they called out specifically to have a net benefit for blood pressure. Next up is improved immune function. So there has been some evidence out there about decreased inflammation, but also there's been some research all around immune function. And there was a 2016 study that came out that talked specifically about sick days and the impact of having a regular meditation practice on sick days. What they found is that sick days decreased by 26% in this study, suggesting that there was an improvement in the immune system. As I mentioned, there were some other studies that mentioned inflammation too. So these are just some of the benefits that meditation might be able to offer you. And last but not least is an increased self-awareness. Meditation can help significantly with self-awareness. You can see the picture there. We mentioned self-love today. And in a lot of ways, that sense of, slowing down and processing on a regular basis that is taught through meditation, um, builds to that. The study in 2016 suggests that self-acceptance, that sense of loving yourself, or just like being content with oneself, increased by 23%. So not waking up with that grating sense of disappointment or grating sense of worry or whatever, that level of acceptance of oneself increased significantly on that. I do want to share a couple of resources that you can use to maybe get started in this if you're wanting to. It doesn't have to be something that is too terribly hard for you to get started. As I mentioned, for me, I found myself really overwhelmed. I found myself at breaking points related to anxiety for a long period of time. And I just needed something easy, like I wasn't sleeping well. So I tried this app called Headspace. They have some free utilities on there. You can check that out. That might be something that could be useful. It also has a subscription model, but they're just quick little meditations that you can do. You can listen to them on your phone. You can do them to help you get back to sleep. That was helpful. Some other resources I've found that other folks, really enjoy. The Calm app. That's something that folks have enjoyed. There is a app and also a podcast called 10% Happier. Sometimes it's just the little things that you change that can make all the difference in the world. So 10% Happier has a podcast and an app that offers some resources. Mindful.org has a ton of resources on this. And then one that's completely free that you might enjoy is this UCLA research-based Mindful app that has a lot of walkthroughs on it. I'm going to stop sharing now so we can just chat for a bit. There was one more bonus, item that I wanted to share with you about a benefit of meditation that didn't end up in the top 10, but might be relevant to some of you guys, is its impact on pain. So studies suggest that it does help with pain. Again, if you are experiencing pain, your doctor is the first place to look for help on these things. And there's a variety of ways that you can explore how to improve or lessen your pain. But in a 2015 study it was actually 33 studies that they looked at, pain intensity decreased by 13% with people who were meditating, and pain interference decreased by 16%. So those two things combined, although, not reducing or eliminating pain, do make an impact on a day-to-day basis. One other, bit of evidence around pain that I wanted to share with you is that there was a study in 2016 related specifically to chronic pain, and it showed there was a 28% decrease in chronic pain with meditation. So all these things considered, it's worth checking out. Like if you were interested in it, you can reach out. We're happy to point you in the direction of a couple of things. I'm going to go back to the resources that I shared before. So if you want to write them down, these are some resources to kind of get you started. Headspace app, Calm app, 10% Happier podcast, mindful.org, UCLA Mindful app, all of these things that kind of get you started. All that being said, hopefully you've learned a little bit today about what meditation could do for you. And if you're more interested in it, give us a call. I'll reach out and we'll help you out, at least find some resources that could be a starting place for you. Thank you again. Bye-bye.